Thank you, Struan. Let me turn to Ken Blackwell.
Henry Kissinger once told me, and I'm not sure if this was a Kissingerism or something that he borrowed, but he said that diplomacy is the grease, ambiguity is the grease on the wheel of diplomacy. You cannot deal with the current regime in Iran with ambiguity. They exploit ambiguity. They only respect specificity and direct threat to their interests. The first panel, I think, said it all, so I'm going to say this. What they said can only be improved upon by saying that one of the elements that we, in fact, have to support and help give life to is the resistance of the diaspora. If there's anything that I've learned from looking at the neighborhood is that the neighborhood has not become a safer place to live and to thrive under the canopy of the present administration's disposition and negotiating posture with the regime. We must take measure of what they do to their own people to give us some indication of how sincere they are with us at the negotiating table. I would just ask the Obama administration to read its own administration's human rights report. Summary executions, arbitrary arrest and detention, assault against basic and fundamental human rights. If we turn a blind eye and not give voice to those concerns at the negotiating table and trust that this regime will abide by anything that it says that it has agreed to in these negotiations, we are fools. And I would just suggest that we must give support to the resistance, both inside of Iran and across the diaspora. We, in fact, need regime change. I don't know how to say it any more specifically than that. Regime change is what is needed, and we need to get there by any means necessary. That's the only way that you're going to bring stability back to the neighborhood of the Middle East, and it's the only way that you can actually stop the assault on human rights and the existential threat that Iran represents within the nuclear context. I would just underscore that if we reach an agreement on June 30th, we will put back $150 billion into that government, into that regime. And if we, in fact, are so naive to believe that it won't go to support global terrorism, again, then we are complete fools. I know that one who speaks on human rights tries to stay away from talking about the stick. But Ambassador, you're completely right. This regime only respects a bigger and more potent stick, not a smaller carrot.
Thank you, Ambassador.